What's up, guys? HD Outfitted. Today we're going to go over my Do-It-All glove system. I have taken this system from -5 northern Michigan whitetail hunts to out west Colorado elk hunts. This will take you through all the months, early season to late, as long as you use it right. This system also will work with waterfowl. When I say do it all, it's really do it all. The good thing about this system also is you can really be in it for $75, maybe less if you buy some of these items on sale. The three pieces of this system, this is just a rag wool fingerless glove. This is a Cabela's brand, but it is the Gore-Tex Infinium, so waterproof, weatherproof, and then just your standard mechanics gloves for work back at camp. So the way this works is really these waterproof, weatherproof, windproof gloves right here are the, you could say, your base layer, your layer you need all the time. You put these on, you can use this waterfowl hunting. Most of the time I will just run these gloves when the hunting, when it starts to get cold, I'll pull them out, I'll put them on. It's important that these are waterproof and windproof because this is where most of your warmth is going to come from. Now, it's probably time for me to get a new pair of these. They're no longer waterproof. For a long time, I used these as my gloves back at camp. That's why these are important, because once you penetrate that waterproof membrane, you're no longer waterproof. So the system starts with these right here. Majority of the time, this is what I'm wearing. I don't break out the rag wool gloves until it starts to get frigid. Once you get cold temps and you're stationary, you need another set of gloves. At the surface, it might seem silly to throw one pair of gloves over top of another, but just like everything else, layering is the key to staying warm. So once you double up and you put the fingerless wool gloves over top of the rainproof once you double up and put the wool over top of your waterproof gloves, you're good down to frigid temperatures. Truthfully, I don't know the limit. I wear these every year whitetail hunting. This year when we went out, we were late season. It was -10 in the mornings. We had some pretty nasty weather, and these really, held up great. You've got two layers here. You've got a waterproof layer, then you've got your wool, insulating layer, really. No different than your layering for Western hunting, if you're familiar with that. But this is the way to go. You can take this down to, like I said, frigid temperatures. I've also worn these waterfowl hunting because they're waterproof. It's almost a must-have. Once it gets cold, these usually just stay like that. They're ready to go. Slide them on. You've already got your insulating layer over top of your waterproof layer. And then back at camp, just a pair of gloves for splitting wood, or maybe you get into some nasty stuff, some briars, so you need to go through and you don't want to tear your hands up. Just good old mechanics gloves. I used to wear moto gloves for all of that work, but then you run into the problem. You've got 3 pair of gloves. You need to put them somewhere. Where do you put them? The cool thing about these mechanics gloves, these are the tactical, but they have this loop. So I run just a clip on the bottom of my bino harness. You can clip these on, and then they hang right on the bottom of your bino harness. They're always ready to go. So this is the Do-It-All glove system for hunting. All said and done, you can really get into this for about $75. These are Cabela's brand rag wool gloves. as well as the waterproof gloves are also Cabela's, but I think these gloves are 20. These mechanics gloves are about 20 bucks. And then these waterproof gloves are the ones that are hard to find. They're probably about $50 now. This version right here, Cabela's does not make anymore, which really sucks. This was my favorite pair of gloves. But any waterproof glove will work. And you really want this to maintain your dexterity. That's the point of not having a full finger wool glove. Once you have the full finger on there, you've got 2 layers of gloves on, and you lose a lot of that dexterity in your fingers. I find it really annoying. It's hard to feel where you're at, on the trigger, on the safety, any fine motor skills, you lose that when you've got 2 pair of gloves on. I hate mittens. Absolutely hate them. They're obviously the warmest option, but you don't have free fingers. Mittens are great to keep you warm, but in terms of using your hands for anything, they suck. You have to scoot a finger out, or you need the style that flip open. This is really the way to go. So let me know what you guys think. I have some plans coming for some more gear reviews. What gloves are you guys running this year? Is there any changes? Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, like I said, if there's anything you think, you have to add to this, different pair of gloves, different ideas, questions, let me know. I'll address them. Thanks, guys.